The Arizal in SHIUR Gilgulim is one of the primary sources that discusses what happens in the grave. He says that immediately after everybody leaves and all the neighboring souls are doing their yelling and screaming and so on, immediately angels come and they lower the ground of that grave and they deepen it to the height of the person. Tractate Makot is one of his sources. Then they stand him up, they stand her up. Then each of these angels mentioned don't have any aspect of mercy, holds an end of the body. When you get this corner, you get that corner, you get that corner. That's how the angels hold the body. He's alive now, the soul's back in there. And they start shaking him, and they start beating him with sticks of fire to remove the Klipah that separates him from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The more sins that a person makes, the thicker that garment is. What's this Klipah? The Arizal goes into it extensively here and throughout the book. The Klipah, there's two types. There's one part of the Klipah that is something that everyone has. This is from the original sin of Adam HaRishon. We were all partners to it. It's a very thin layer of Klipah. In essence, you could use an analogy or something, an imaginary look, that it's like a spiritual garment. Very thin spiritual garment. That we all have. But the other one, that all depends on what kind of sins we made. And that person cannot go to the Bet Din of Shamayim until that garment is broken. And that garment is similar to a shell. It's not like a garment soft. It's a garment like a shell. And these angels shake him and hit him until it's broken. The thicker it is, the more difficult it is. So imagine someone that's a tzaddik. Someone that's tzaddik, it's like an eggshell. All you gotta do is tap it in the right place and it breaks. Someone that's a rasha, someone that looks at girls that's not his wife, someone that eats not kosher, someone that didn't do tshuva for being with somebody before they're married, someone that walks around imadis, someone that causes other people to sin, that person's shell is like the safe. The safe has a door. Usually the door is the thickest part, that's their klipah. Now, not all people are the same, the Arizal says. Righteous people who during their lives distance themselves from the Yetzer Hara, humbling themselves, their suffering is obviously much lower, their beating is very limited, could be even non-existent at all if they die on early during a Friday and they actually get buried on a Friday, before Shabbat. But this is not the case, the Arizal says, for evil people. It's just the opposite. As a result of the physical pleasures of this world, they attached and strengthened that klipah to their bodies and their souls even more. This is the secret, this is the sod of why a person is not spared from the beatings of the grave. If it's a wicked person that became lustrous on a regular basis, wasted seed on a regular basis, died without doing tshuva for these things. She liked walking around with only half an outfit because she wants everybody to see the definitions of her body. She walked around without kisui rosh because she wanted everybody to see the new hairdo that Oscar from down the street made for her. She wants everybody at the supermarket to say, "Oh, hi, Mrs. So-and-so. How are you?" Why? Because she's half naked, so they have to see something. She walked around causing other people to sin. Or better yet, he's a rabbi, or he calls himself a rabbi, and he tells people, no, homosexuality, that's not a big deal. There's 613 mitzvot, so what if we make one sin? Like this Rasha Arur and some of his followers that defend him.
Homosexuality is a prohibition in the Torah. Whenever gay men come to me and they say, this is their contention, I was born this way, there's nothing I can do to change, you know what my response to them is? There are 613 commandments in the Torah. You have 611 left. That'll keep you pretty damn busy. But this all or nothing sum game that if you violate one law like being gay, you're out of the community, that is not Jewish. And I will always protest against it.
People like that, Rabotai Yekarim, they have become addicted to the sin. So the Arizal says that their klipah is like dough mixed with flour and bran, intricately has become tied together to the point where it's in essence almost a single piece. There's almost no separation. It's almost impossible to break it without some massive, massive beatings. Because they forgot who's the master of the house. And until that comes off, we're not finished. And this is why it's called Chibut HaKever, the beatings of the grave. If I'm scaring you, that's a good sign. That means your soul is still alive.